Well, welcome back everyone. I was getting burned out trying to figure out remote block controls of other grids via scripting, so I decided to blow things up instead. So this is a 100% AI controlled 4-way lake battle. The equipment we're going to be using is a large grid ship and a small grid ship that I used for testing out the newer guns they added not so long ago. It's the Death Sparrow is the large grid one, and the Spur is the small grid one. On the large grid, Death Sparrow, there are 3 railguns, 8 Gatling turrets, 8 artillery turrets, and 8 assault cannon turrets. And the small one, we have 3 railguns, 8 autocannons, 1 assault cannon turret, and 3 autocannon turrets. I'm going to have sensors handling the railguns on the large grid. Couldn't be bothered to put sensors on the small grid, so it's just the 4 turrets that are going to be firing from the small grid. Otherwise, it's mostly just for funsies. Piloting it yourself, but from an AI control, can't be bothered. So right here, it's blank on the regular Death Sparrow. If we fly over here, I'll show you what it looks like on the Crimson Sparrow. There is a sensor mod that I grabbed to handle this. This one is called the Sensor Max Range mod by YajieDesign. It allows sensors out to like 5,000 meters, and I have that bound to the 3 railguns. So whenever there's a large grid enemy ship in the way, it will fire off the volley of all the railguns. Play around with some mask pathing After Effects. So when we kick it off, all the large grid ships are going to converge into the center to some waypoints that I have set up, and then they're going to move in a counterclockwise rotation to keep them moving so we don't have static targets, because the AI is kind of dumb in Space Engineers otherwise. Small grids are just going to be flying fast across the lake, so I like constant movement for small grids. So we have the Crimson Sparrow, the Gold Sparrow, the Sapphire Sparrow, and the Pickle Sparrow. Those are the main contenders for this. For distraction, we have the small grid ships, 4 per team. They're going to be handled by a launching platform. It's going to activate the remote block AI control and then disconnect all the connectors. Alright, let's get started. Alright, round 1, start. And oh yeah, the basis for figuring out the winner, this is me the first, or the last ship that's still flying is the winner. And that's if they hit the ice, if the losers hit the ice and stay down, then they're out. I have had some ships to bounce off the ice and stay in it, so we'll have to see if that happens here or not. But it's mostly just funsies, so we're not going to be too serious. It's not like this is Space Engineers Olympics or anything, so... Yeah, the small grids are mostly just for distraction. I haven't been in a situation where a small grid... I guess I'm pummeled. It kind of looks like it's in one piece, though. It's a lot of explosions for a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, I absolutely adore the sound design and effect of the new guns. This railgun shot. Yeah, the railguns I have set to 1,000 meters for a shot. I know the railgun is effective at 2,000 meters, but when you have it based on a sensor and not really logically controlled, I figured just keep it at 1,000, keep it a little bit more accurate for this sort of application. Gold Sparrow's trying to sneak under Sapphire. By the way, the large grids are set to collision avoidance off, so I want some chunky sumo action in the air, but the small grids have the collision avoidance on, because they're just going to get annihilated if they try to go toe-to-toe with anything large here, so I want them to avoid hitting stuff. They're just mostly meant to go fly by. I wonder if they're going to shoot Sapphire out of the air there and land on it. Oh! Nice gentle nudging by the Pickle. They mount so much. Oh, Gold's losing altitude here. So for keeping in the air, I have found that they require 4 large atmospheric thrusters to stay aloft. That one looks like it has 4 still active. Once it goes down to 3, it's done. It won't be able to get it back up off of the ice. So that's kind of the limit. It's probably different if this was a space battle. They do have ion thrusters, so they could very much operate in space just the same. And yes, you can see that they can take fire from the ground, even if they're out. I don't even know if Gold is in fact out or not. It's a slow descent. I mean, it impacted the ice, but it's a very gentle nudge. Well, while it's down there, it's still going to be taking fire, so we'll see if it comes back off the ice. But I won't count the gold out completely. So. Yeah, this is how a lot of them wind up on the ice. They'll get nudged by some other ship above them, and they'll get forced onto the ice. Also, targeting. I've left the targeting default for all these ships. So I know that the new targeting system in the game, you can, of course, target weapons or thrusters or whatever. They're just default, so they're firing at whatever. So not efficient, of course. If you had a player controlling these, this would be over very quickly. But I find this more entertaining. So just left it. Oh, are we going to lose Pickle and Crimson? No, Crimson's going down sharply. I don't think that's going to recover. Gold's not recovered either. That's been down for a while. And as I see, Sapphire in the background's going down, so... Well, there you go. I think that means Pickle is our winner for round 1. It's one of the others is going to take off. I doubt it, though. Yeah, they're out. Yeah, Pickle's a winner. Okay. Round 2 started. Yeah, I've done this battle maybe about something like 10 times, and yeah, it's a different winner each time. It's really interesting, even though they have the same way paths and they have the same start each time. It's just interesting how the variety here, what can happen, can really change the dynamics. Yeah, my system cannot handle this battle. I'm sure you all have noticed it's a little sluggish. My poor system is not up to the task of handling this kind of nonsense. It would be lovely to have like 16 large grid ships, but it's not happening. Yeah, you can barely render the railgun shots. And they're happening, but it's just... lofting 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4 thrusters still. Nope, it's looking like they're gonna beat Gold to the net here. It'd be lovely if they had like a schematic that showed like the main components of each ship. Okay, so I was looking at the Sapphire off screen for a second. I missed Gold lifting up into Pickle. It's one of those blink and you miss it moments. But yeah, apparently the 4 thrusters are still working on Gold, so miraculously. Looks like they managed to take out the thrusters on the way back up into Pickle, so Pickle's going to take a dive here. So much for the shutout. Yeah, that's a chunky hit. Yeah, I don't think we can give up on it. 2, 3. Yeah, that's 3 thrusters. They're not going to be able to get on the ice. So it's just Gold and Sapphire. Crimson hit the ground, right? Yeah, Gold is in a sorry state, though. I mean, it's AI controlled. I don't think it would sit back, but honestly, if you wanted a cheap win, Sapphire can just sit back while Gold gets pelted by carcass of Pickle and Crimson down there. If it was smart enough, we could just line up a railgun shot and take it out in one shot. Yeah, the front of it is just gone. That's not happening. Yeah, it's out. Yeah, Sapphire's gonna put out its misery here in a moment. Yeah, That's a smoky boy. Oh! Well, that was, I think, the central reactor. There were two reactors, one in the front and one in the middle. So I think that's what it was. Yeah, you can see the large atmosphere thruster just dangling there. That's a chunky hit. Okay, yeah, Sapphire is the winner, round 2. Yeah. Okay. Round 3. And go. It looked like the railgun tracked onto the small grid there for a second. I think I set it to only target large grid, but yeah, that was clearly a small grid that flew around. It's weird. Oh, I love the broadsiding. Taken out the front thrusters, one of them anyways. That was a healthy hit. Pickle just spun Sapphire around. That was pretty nuts. Yeah. See if Gold or Crimson can do something about this, otherwise it's Sapphire and Pickle just have to win one. I don't know if I said earlier, we're just going to 2. First to 2 wins, just keep it simple. Go that shuttle body just went right through Gold, I don't know if he did anything vital. But, yeah. I'm gonna have to cut this down supremely, otherwise this will end up being like an hour-long video. I don't know if it's gonna tell, but yeah, it's a lot to cut down. Wow, okay. Just dissected it. Small ship. And it looks like Sapphire and Gold are just gonna take each other out. This is pretty nuts. Pickle's just sitting back. Oh, looks like Crimson's about out. Floating pretty low. 1, 2, 3, 4 thrusters. Minimum amount, but the minimum doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna stay up. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a small grid. Okay, so I need to mess around with the settings at some point. I'm not supposed to be trying for small grid ships. I mean, they could definitely hit them, but I mean, it's a waste of a shot. It's like a 1-minute recharge. Oh, Sapphire got slid off a Gold, and boop the snoot. Boop the snoot of Sapphire. Oh, that's got some speed. I don't know if you can tell, even with this deep slow motion, but that's a healthy speed. That's long darting with gusto right there. So much for Sapphire's chances of winning in the round 3. And Gold's out too. Okay, well, it's just Crimson versus Pickle, and Crimson's limping. Yeah, this is looking like a Pickle victory. Pickle victory? Yeah. Okay. Alright, Pickle's your winner, round 3 and overall. So yeah, 4-way lake fight, there he goes. Oh, and Gold ended up bouncing back up. I believe the remote block is shot from that, so I don't think it really counts. Alright, well, this was fun. I may do a space battle version of this at some point, but the next focus is going to be this enclosed room battle idea I have. It's very complicated. I need to figure out random way pathing properly, remote controlling other grids from central points via scripting. I know others have done it, but I'm still catching up. Lots to learn. I'll figure it out. That is it. Thank you all for stopping by.